What is going on? Brandon back with another episode of Marketing with a Cup of Joe. We have Tom Bell here from Viralstyle, and today we're going to talk about Facebook ads and how that can generate revenue for your business, and actually how Facebook ads has led to a bunch of sales online. So tell them a little bit about yourself and kind of Viralstyle and how you got into the business.
So yeah, my name is Tom Bell. I've been doing internet marketing since about late 2013. So at that time, actually, Facebook marketing was kind of like a new thing. It was kind of reserved for larger corporations or people that were selling like diet pills and that kind of stuff. It was kind of like still kind of the frontier. So I was one of the kind of the original pioneers of selling physical products on Facebook. So what we did is we found a way to sell T-shirts based on the ad targeting that Facebook had. You could target people for their specific interests, right? Which is something you could never do before. And back then it was a very basic platform. It was choose a couple of keywords and spend back then our budgets were higher because we didn't have to test as much, because people had never really seen advertisements for apparel or anything like that on there, so they weren't kind of washed out at that point. So basically what it ended up being is a huge push to Facebook marketing. Everybody and their mom wanted to get into it. We got successful really quickly, and originally this is before Viralstyle, and we were just selling on another platform at the time, and we ended up selling like 150,000 shirts in about 2 months, netted about $2 million in revenue, we never looked back, right? So at that point we decided that we could build something better than what we were using, and we were leaving a lot of money on the table, and that's kind of how Viralstyle happened. It was just basically out of necessity. All the features and selling features and stuff like that are pretty commonplace now were not available then on platforms like Upsells and coupon codes and cross sells and shopping carts and the whole thing.
Right.
It was put up a design, sell it, end the campaign, relaunch it. Mm-hmm. So that's basically how it happened. I've personally generated between like 8 and 9 million through Facebook ads myself. Viralstyle has thousands of sellers all over the world now that use our site to generate an income. We have an office in Hanoi. We sell close to 2 million products a year at this point, and we ship worldwide. So
that's awesome. And like one thing you brought up was the upsells. I mean, how beneficial do you think that is for any business, whether they're selling on your platform? Like, what successes have you seen come from upsells and the revenue generated from that?
Yeah, so just like to reiterate what an upsell is. Basically what it is a post-purchase upsell. So they've already committed to buying the original item, right? And before the checkout page, after the checkout page, but before the thank you page with all the confirmations on it, there's a pop-up that says, hey, here's a deal for a similar product or the same design on a different product for a discount. And what we saw when we initially turned that on is an additional bump of another 10% in revenue without doing anything. Just giving those people another option, whether they were already thinking about doing it or not, just giving them that option at another 10%. What we do is we have actually we allow 2 upsells at the end. So if you want to sell like the same shirt at a discount and then like a mug as a second upsell as a discount, you can do that. But yeah, it works really well. We also do cross sells now, which is essentially like on the sales page or on the shopping cart page, we'll show similar designs or similar products that are based on the tag that's on the campaign itself. So we see another additional 10% there because they can add multiple products to the shopping cart before they check out. So all those things add up.
That's great. And I mean, kind of like irradiating like the whole Facebook ads world, right? I mean, I think a lot of businesses have tried it, right? Whether they're selling a physical product online or their local business or whatever. Like, what would your advice be as far as a local business getting into Facebook ads? Maybe they've tried it before and they haven't seen results. Do you think Facebook ads are effective today than, say, traditional advertising back in the day, like billboards and direct mail?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you're a small business, you're not, utilizing Facebook as a way to get your business, even, just engagement. You're definitely leaving money on the table. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do it to be successful at all, but if you have a budget to spend on any type of advertising, you should be at least spending some money on whether it's growing your brand or building a pipeline for leads or something like that, because it's very effective. That's obvious. I mean, everybody's teaching it at this point too, right? So, for example, if you have a restaurant or something like that, even just having a coupon floating around on Facebook gets people in the door. You're not losing money on the initial sale. You're getting somebody coming at a lower price, and then maybe they'll buy something else. So, I mean, there's so many different ways you can do it. That's just the first one that comes to mind. Yeah. Facebook allows you to target based on, you could target an area around an address. So if you have, again, like a restaurant or something like that, and you want to target people within a 5-mile radius of your restaurant, you can do that. You can even narrow it down to, a specific age group or a
like horses or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too, but I mean, I think with something like that, you'd want to stay more general. Like, you can target people based on how much money they make, right? So, I mean, there's so many different ways to do it, and it doesn't cost a lot to reach a lot of people. You're talking, small budgets of like $5 to $10 a day. You'll reach a couple hundred, a couple thousand people in your area without doing anything, kind of on autopilot, just showing people your ad. So it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I think one of the biggest obstacles that I see, whether it's selling physical products, like, how did you go about maybe telling some of your students or sellers on your platform, and even going about businesses when they've said they've tried Facebook ads in the past, right? They haven't worked. I mean, what's that kind of testing phase, right? Whether it's selling a physical product or even a lead generation form, right? Because it's not like it's the first ad you put out is just gonna start bringing in leads or start bringing in sales, right?
Well, you got to know what your KPIs are, right? So whether that's a lead or that's a sale or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you have to have a budget or a margin on there to be able to test from. So let's say it's a t-shirt, right? And it's a $20 t-shirt, you have a $10 margin on it. So you have at least $10 to spend to try and acquire a customer, right? If you spend $10, you're gonna break even. You spend $11, you're gonna lose $1. You spend $12, whatever. So you want to try and get it, as low as possible. So the only way to do that is to test. What happens more often than not at this point is you'll put out 5 to 10 test ads at small budgets. You get a couple sales, but you're basically in the red. But what you're trying to do is find the one that's working the best and then kill the rest of them, because eventually that one Facebook is continuously learning about the type of people that you're trying to get interest from on your ad, and it will optimize the ad by itself. And I'm not sure exactly what the threshold is now for that, but it will tell you right up under the ad that it's still learning, right? So what a lot of times happens is people will start in the red and they'll end it too early, and they think, oh, I'm losing money, blah, blah, blah. So you actually have to have a budget. You have to have a little bit of balls to lose money at first, to let Facebook do its thing. Because once it does figure out what type of people you're interested in, it'll start to optimize itself. And it actually gives you a lot of tools as well. So like, let's say you've got 100 people that have looked at your ad, have actually clicked on it but not had any sales. You can put those people in an audience, retarget them, so that maybe that first initial site wasn't what they're looking for at the time, but then they see it 2 or 3 more times and that'll push them over the edge. So the retargeting always has a higher ROI than regular cold leads. So another thing that you can do is you can take that 100 people, and then what Facebook will do is they'll create a lookalike audience. So here's a group of 100 people. Here's what Facebook says is the closest match to those 100 people. Here's 1 million of them. That works really well as a way to kind of get the ball rolling, and so that you can scale it.
Very cool. So that's awesome. Well, and then tell some people about Viralstyle, and if they want to get kind of started, how to kind of go about it if they want to start selling online.
Sure. So if you're interested in selling print-on-demand products, we have over 50 products now. Anything from T-shirts to mugs, posters. We even do like canvas prints, so for high quality art. We've got cool stuff like dog tags and towels, and all over print products are starting to be a bigger thing for us. All you gotta do is come to Viralstyle. It's free to use. Basically what it is, you just create a design. You would come to our site and place it on as many products as you'd like. It will give you a sales page with all the different styles, colors, and options that you want to sell, and then all you have to do is bring the traffic, and once you get a sale, we'll use the money from the sale to actually produce the item, and we'll ship it directly to your customer, and then we'll even handle the customer service afterwards. So basically we'll do all the back end business side of the business, when all you guys do is create and sell. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, viralstyle.com. All you have to do is just sign up, and we actually have an academy. So if you're new to the business, you can learn from some of the top sellers in the industry. We have, I think, like 20 chapters of video footage that kind of gives you the ins and outs of the mentality that goes into creating products and creating designs, and then the ads that follow. So
yeah, that's awesome. Kind of takes away so much of that tedious process of learning, testing, and all that. So it's
a lot to take in, but if you stick with it, people seem to be pretty successful at it. So
sweet, awesome. Well, Tom,
all right,
great.